boxer Mike Tyson of raping her back in 1990s. She filed a lawsuit this month in Albany seeking $5 million in damages. The woman claims that
CNN has just released the latest development on Mike Tyson after his sudden disappearance. The last time he was seen was in the court after he collapsed, once the court ordered that Netflix and Jake Paul paid back a substantial amount of money back to fans as the penalty for staging a scripted fight when they met in the ring on November 15th.
Mike, he's somebody you know personally?
No, not well, no.
Never hung out with him in the Tigers or anything like that? He told me he was here a few weeks ago and he said that there was a good chance he was going to smoke pot before the fight. Maybe.
After his collapse, Mike Tyson was rushed to the hospital for treatment, and ever since, he's been missing, as Jake Paul and Netflix have paid their shares of the huge amount and only Mike Tyson is left. Sadly, this could be even more dangerous for Iron Mike Tyson, who could suffer additional punishments after his decision to run from the authorities.
Streaming giant Netflix is being issued a class action in relation to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. TMZ reports the lawsuit is over stream.
There is the possibility of a jail sentence or a huge fine when he is eventually found, which doesn't make his current situation better in any way. This won't only cause great damage to Mike Tyson's reputation, it would also make many doubt his health condition, as everything about him is seeming more like an escape attempt than a true health condition. Well, if the fight was scripted, what can't?
Streaming issues and a breach of contract. Thousands of viewers claim they had trouble watching the fight. Netflix is yet to comment.
This was surprising because some news reporters were out of the court, waiting to hear the results. Instead, what they got was the news of Mike Tyson's collapse. As a result, the boxing legend was rushed out of the court to be treated. Eventually, several news sources were able to get the contents of the judgment. It was noted that most of it only included a financial compensation to the fans who filed a lawsuit. Perhaps this was the main reason for Mike Tyson's collapse and his eventual escape, as he had settled for the fight in the first instance. In fact, the reason he chose to get into the ring again was to make some money for himself and his family. Asking such a person to make certain financial sacrifices would most likely not end well, especially if the person is a 58-year-old whose health has had several complications in recent times. Well, the judge's final judgment was that the fighters paid a certain percentage of their earnings from the fight to settle the lawsuit, while Netflix will be paying a larger percentage.
A lot of good things gonna come after this fight, but the most important thing, Mike going back home with his family, with his loved ones, and health. In the end of the day, we just want your fighter, your athlete, be health and back home with us.
Aside from the fact that this could be another scripted gimmick from the boxing legend Mike Tyson's collapse, was just enough proof that he is yet to recover fully from the damages he suffered during the fight. Jake Paul was the only one at the post-fight press conference, while Tyson was represented by his coaches after things got really bad for Iron Mike Tyson, as he was referred to the hospital once the fight was over, after the medical team conducted some post-fight tests on him.
There's boxing fans that Mike Tyson is the reason that this event is as big as it is. 21 years old, he made history in boxing. 58 years old, he's made history in boxing.
According to his coaches and a reputable news source, the boxing legend isn't too injured. However, the medical team observed the damage done by Jake Paul's punches and felt he needed a proper brain scan alongside other treatments to subdue the pain he was feeling after the fight. From the moment he stepped into the dressing room, Mike Tyson admitted to feeling dizzy and fatigued, which attracted the attention of the medical team to him. It was there and then that alarms Mike Tyson's safety was raised. This becomes the latest topic on Mike Tyson's health, the most recent incident of an ulcer attack in May, and a wheelchair placement some years ago.
Let me say, we are really proud of Mike, not just because he was 7 months of training for a man 58 years old, but the way he trained for 7 months. He put his life to the side just to be in the gym.
At least for now, it's been confirmed that Mike Tyson would have to stay back at the hospital to avoid any unexpected complications. The Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations has been heavily criticized by several boxing professionals as a result of this. As a fighter over the age of 36, Tyson was required to submit favorable EEG and EKG results as part of his application, according to Telemange. He did that in May, Mange said. The TDLR said Thursday that Tyson passed a pre-fight physical earlier in the day. In a statement, the TDLR added, "The safety of the contestants competing in the ring or the cage is always the primary concern of TDLR staff. This competition is no different." At 58, the former world heavyweight champion was one of the oldest boxers to compete in a sanctioned professional fight. "You're only as old as you feel," Tyson has said in an attempt to dismiss the issue. But on May 26th, he suffered what his representatives called an ulcer flare-up during a flight from Miami to Los Angeles. It required medical attention, a trip to the hospital, and led to the fight being postponed for 4 months. And the chorus of concerns over health risks Tyson might face grow even louder as the heavyweight bout set to be held at a Tant Stadium nears. Stephen Hughes, a senior lecturer of medicine at Anglia Ruskin University in England, was one of the first to raise the issue. Citing Tyson's age and past alcohol abuse as risk factors, Hughes in May wrote in an article published by The Conversation that head trauma would put the boxer at greater risk of suffering a subdural hematoma, which is potentially fatal.
It's not just 4 guys in the corner, but it's a big group of people, and I'd like to express all my gratitude for all of you guys. I come from Brazil. I broke a barrier.
In talking about age, Tyson is fond of referring to Julius Caesar. He points out that before the Julian calendar was named for Caesar, age wasn't marked as it is today. In other words, back then, Tyson wouldn't have any age, but the ulcer flare-up served as evidence of health issues.
And it's just an honor to be able to fight him, and he's obviously the toughest, baddest man on the planet, so it was really tough, like I expected it to be.
"I went to the bathroom and I threw up blood," Tyson told Netflix for a documentary-style series leading up to the fight. "The next thing I know, I'm on the floor." The source of the trauma was a 2.5-inch bleeding ulcer, according to Tyson, who conducted the interview from a hospital room. The so-called script for Mike Tyson's blockbuster heavyweight showdown with Jake Paul was however debunked after the YouTuber turned boxer scored a decision victory in Texas. Tyson was making the walk to the ring in a professional bout for the first time in nearly 2 decades. While many thought the former undisputed heavyweight champion still had the power to cause a potential upset, fans were left disappointed as Iron Mike showed his age in the squared circle and had no answer for Paul. Ahead of the fight, Paul had promised to kill Tyson, but struggled to land anything significant throughout the heavyweight dust-up. Despite being the much busier fighter, the boxing faithful were left unconvinced as the American claimed victory on the judges' scorecards 80, 72 with 2 judges, and 73 with the third. This came after a fake script for the fight was leaked online. Over the years, many within the boxing community have slammed the problem child and have accused him of fixing his fights.
Just watch the fear reappear in their eyes when I hit the set. Oh no, Tupac with Team Tyson seldom seen. I am my cut.
Paul faced accusations of fixing his fights by fans when a script of his clash with Tommy Fury was leaked online last year. The document, which was eventually declared to be fake, was uploaded to social media by Mike Perry. Platinum served as a backup fighter for the showdown last year. The alleged script gave a rundown of how the blockbuster clash would play out. Ahead of the heavyweight clash between the 2 stars, a fake script provided details of each round until the 5th, when Paul stopped a tired Tyson. There is no suggestion, however, that the fight was fixed. Here is how the script claimed it would play out.
Power at all? No. He hit you with 1, and you gave him the tongue. Only because the crowd, got turned.
In round 1, the opening bell rings and Tyson, showing flashes of his old form, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style. Paul maintains distance, circling the ring cautiously. Tyson lands a few jabs, but Paul's youth shows in his superior mobility. Paul connects with a quick 1-2 combination before retreating. Tyson's timing appears slightly off. his punches a fraction slower than in his prime. In the second round, Tyson comes alive, cutting off the ring more effectively. He lands a thunderous left hook to Paul's body that draws a collective gasp from the crowd. Paul weathers the storm, using his reach advantage to pepper Tyson with long jabs. The younger fighter's stamina becomes evident as he bounces on his toes, while Tyson's breathing grows heavier.
Burnt up, but it didn't actually hurt. But, I mean, no one's punches have like really hurt. I got buzzed a little bit against Tommy Fury, but that's about it.
In round 3, Paul gains confidence, starting to plant his feet more. He lands a sharp right cross that momentarily stuns Tyson. The former champion responds with a vintage combination, but Paul slips most of it. The speed difference becomes more apparent as Paul begins finding his range with his jab. Tyson's legendary head movement starts to slow. In the 4th round, fatigue sets in for Tyson. Though his punches still carry devastating power, Paul establishes his rhythm, landing increasingly clean shots. A particularly sharp right hand opens a cut above Tyson's left eye. The old champion bulls forward, trying to close distance, but Paul's footwork keeps him just out of range. The tide is turning.
It didn't hurt, no. I was just off balance when Woodley hit me, but because I was throwing a check hook and I missed.
The 5th was the decisive round. Paul, sensing Tyson's fatigue, begins to press forward more aggressively. He lands a crisp 3-punch combination that backs Tyson to the ropes. As Tyson tries to weave away, Paul times him perfectly with a devastating right hand that catches his flush on the chin. Tyson's legs buckle, and he drops to the canvas. The referee begins the count, but Tyson, despite his warrior's heart, cannot beat the 10 count. Winner, Jake Paul by KO, round 5. And despite losing a unanimous decision on the night, Tyson hinted that he would still be prepared to return to the ring again in the future, even calling out Paul's older brother Logan to his face.
And then my chin was open, and then he hit me and I went boom. But it didn't hurt.
When asked who he could take on next, Iron Mike said, "I don't know, maybe his brother." A stunned Logan could be seen looking completely baffled before making his feelings on a potential fight with the fighting great clear. "Idiot, I'd kill you, Mike," the WWE star responded. Well, the show was worse than many had anticipated, as the only positive was the fact that Iron Mike Tyson wasn't injured nor knocked out. But every other thing, ranging from Netflix's streaming, the fight itself, and the performance of both fighters, was unimpressive on the night.
Tyson wanting to see more action. Wabota, Evander Holyfield, you get the gist.
And everybody was saying,
While this has generated several comments from boxing professionals, the latest news of the leaked script has caused even more chaos in the boxing world, as more boxing professionals have fired shots at Jake Paul, Netflix, and even Mike Tyson for putting up a show of disgrace. Right after the match, when he was asked about the leaked script, former world champion Andre Ward claimed he knew the fight was scripted and wasn't shocked by whatever outcome played out.
I don't know how many people feel like I feel, but I appreciate Mike getting himself in shape and being able to...
It is what I expected. We all knew how it was going to go. I'm not shocked by anything. Mike is 58, and we wouldn't expect anything less from a man his age fighting against a 27 or 26-year-old. It wasn't bad, but it could have been, and that's where the script came in. But really, was there a script for the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? Actually, the internet said so, the fight said so, and even Jake Paul said so.
I don't know if he's tired or whatever, and I could just tell, his age was showing a little bit, and I just have so much respect for him. And that,
Tyson looked every day of his 58 years as he was being schooled by his younger opponent and appeared to have been hurt on several occasions as he bit down on his own gloves. Paul visibly eased off in the closing rounds of the fight and avoided the temptation to land the knockout blow that an increasingly disenchanted and baying crowd feared was on the cards.
Violence, war thing between us, after he slapped me, I wanted to, be aggressive and take him down and knock him out and all that stuff, but that...
To his credit, Tyson navigated his way to the finish line and maintained his dignity, but fans were left unimpressed with Paul confirming that he didn't want to damage his illustrious opponent unnecessarily. "Yeah, definitely a bit," he said, when asked if he deliberately took his foot off the gas during the closing rounds of the fight. "I wanted to give the fans a show, but I didn't want to hurt someone that didn't need to be hurt."
I kind of went away as the rounds went on. I truly, truly believe in my skills and my ability and my power. And the cruiserweight division is...
He added, There was a point where Tyson was not engaging back. I could just tell his age was showing a little bit. That violence war thing that went away as the rounds went on. When someone's just surviving in the ring, it's hard to make it exciting. I don't care what people have to say. It is what it is. Following the fight, Chief Executive Officer of Matchroom Boxing Promotions, Eddie Hearn, who against his own wish of missing Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight, was present on the night to support his fighter, Katie Taylor, also admitted the fact that all parties came together to script a fight that he hated to see.
Issa and Jake and MVP did an amazing job on the promotion. Netflix, everybody. What I saw, I hated to see. And I knew I'd hate to see it, but...
The Brit said, "All I can say is they put a great job into the production of the script. Netflix, Jake Paul, MVP, Tyson, and everyone. But what I saw in there, I hated to see it." Also, the biggest prospect of Mayweather Promotions, Kermel Moton, who recently increased his boxing record to 6 wins in 6 fights, including 5 knockouts, commented on the scripted fight. He wasn't at the ringside, yet he had gotten a view of the leaked script just as the fight was about to start, as he tweeted, "Fight script got leaked. Sean O'Malley explained how the fight went down the exact route he envisioned it to go, especially with how scripted it was. He said, I saw it playing out that way. I just didn't want Tyson to be knocked out. They were too many rounds, 14 ounces gloves, so I wasn't expecting a knockout. There were little chances for a knockout. I just expected this."
I didn't want to see Mike get hurt, so I think that's it's almost a perfect outcome.
Is that how you saw the fight playing out, or do you think there'd be a knockout?
Well, 2-minute rounds, 14-ounce gloves. There was definitely less chance of a knockout with that, so.
Tyson's health concerns, such as his recent ulcer flare-up, age, and stamina, always remained a worrying sign for some fans. The fight proved them right. Andre Berto also voiced those worrisome factors as he announced, "I'm happy that nonsense is over. My nerves couldn't handle it for my hero Mike. I'm glad Jake had enough respect not to go crazy and really try to knock Mike out tonight." Iron Mike Tyson is damn near 60 year. Hope you can see that. Now leave that man alone, LOL. Tyson, however, didn't deny fighting one more time, as he engaged with Logan Paul for an exchange, but there were rumors of him fighting with Lennox Lewis in an exhibition fight. Lastly, Terrence Crawford expressed his love for Tyson, but also spilled some harsh words for him. He declared, "I love Mike Tyson, but they giving him too much credit. He looked like trash to train that long and only throw 97 punches. The whole fight is crazy. I'm just glad he didn't get hurt out there." Tyson looked out of breath in the fight, but didn't quit. Instead, he went the distance, which he would consider a win for himself. Gervonta Davis turned to his Instagram handle to slam Jake Paul for the fiasco. He stated in the caption, "To the bozo that shared the ring with Mike, you a whole bozo for this, and you didn't get the job done, foolhead." In addition, he lauded Tyson and celebrated him. He wrote in another story, "You'll forever be a legend, whether you like it or not, and it will never be another one. And I understand you so well. All this stuff don't mean nothing." Shakur Stevenson appreciated Paul for not attempting to knock out Tyson. He wrote, "Look like Jake got a good heart. He is not gonna try. Glad he's not trying to knock my boy out." Paul even bowed to Tyson in the dying second of the last round to pay respect to the former heavyweight champion.
"To the bozo that shared the ring with Mike, you a whole bozo for this. You didn't get the job done."
Tony Bellew called for a boycott of Paul and campaigned not to tune in for his fight until he fought someone healthy. He said, "We are all to blame for this man. We are all talking and watching. We have to stop this fool. Don't tune into him until he fights someone who is fit, healthy, and not a grandfather. Any proper boxing people helping Paul need to look at themselves FFS. This is just sad." Paul has received scathing criticism for his choice of opponents, as he has largely fought fighters in their twilight days. Jamal Herring also tried to play down the credentials of Paul and tried to make sense of his boxing aspirations. He penned, Yo, we gotta stop the nonsense. He's fighting a 58-year-old man, can't put him down, weighs around 230 pounds, wants to fight a super middleweight Canelo, says he's a serious contender. I'm just enjoying the entertainment value at this point. Jake can sell anything. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.